Hi Aries, welcome to your Astro Reels. We are starting another round, yay! And guess who we're starting with? You! If you have not had a chance as yet to take a look at the longer form videos that have come through, please understand that it seems that my channeling guides, our channeling guides and teachers have used those the transit moon readings and the monthly readings as a way of bringing through higher information for us. So they are a little bit longer, and hopefully that's not a deterrent. But you know, if it's something that you feel that you need or that is you're having a calling to watch, then I trust that you will find it. So I guess everything is as it should be. Now, let's take a look at the energies that are coming through now for this shorter energy reading. And as you know, you don't have to have any significant Aries placements for these readings to be for you. They are fully collective readings. Also, if you'd like to work more closely with me on pretty much anything you need, you know exactly where to reach us. And of course, it is our pleasure. And if you feel guided, feel free to check out the intuitive counseling, which is my favorite, 1 minute, 11 seconds. I really, really love doing that. So anyway, feel free to reach out. And for those who have readings already pending, God bless you. Hi. As always, I will let you know when your reading is next. So thank you so much. Let's move in. There it is. Let's move in. Aries, what's going on? Let's move in is coming through in your reading, but this card is kind of falling all over the place. And the minute I noticed it, when I say noticed it, the minute I threw my energy at it, it came right back in. Well, I know I moved it, but we're in the flow of the energy already. So let's take a look here. Aries, I'm getting a little bit of an energy of a petulant child. We all have a petulant child within us. God bless, right? So pretty much speaking, it's kind of like if your mom says, don't eat those cookies. And of course she leaves the cookies, you know, she's like, don't eat the cookies. The cookies are for our guests that are arriving within the half hour. And you're like, okay. And you know, of course, mom leaves the room for a few seconds. You're about 6, super cute. And of course you're doing whatever you do, but your eyes keep going back to that plate. And then, you know, there you find your way over the plate. And the minute I look, 2 minutes, 22 seconds, you're like, I wasn't doing anything. You know, kids are like, I wasn't doing it. They're so cute, right? So it's almost like getting your hand caught just before it goes into the cookie jar. This is the energy that I'm getting, but you can feel the innocence, but we're watching you, mischievous energy. All right, there's a little bit of an interdimensional conversation that's going on, because I'm speaking to you guys at the conscious mind level, so you can understand an energetic thing that's going on. But at the same time, when the guides just said mischievous, we're watching you, mischievous energy, we jumped to another level of the field, and now we're no longer talking to you. We are addressing the energies within your space, negative entity attachments, they're saying subversive tactics that are being thrown your way. I guess humans live in a bubble, and understandable when their eye is closed and they may be afraid to see certain things. But just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. And moreover, it doesn't mean you're not being adversely affected by it in some way. Our spirit teams will always serve to protect us, but you know, they stand back when 3 minutes 33 seconds at a deeper level of your field that you're not conscious of, you're issuing a command. Let it be. That's what you're saying. I want this tumultuous energy to enter into my field. Now you're like, no dude, I want this gone. What's going on? I'm swinging incense and stuff. And that's why it's always the realm of shadow work, to look at what's going on inside your inner blockages. Sit down, do your inner work. And you will always hear that on this channel, and I'm sorry if it sounds like a broken record, but really the key to your doing, the undoing of the negativity and all of that in your life is going to come through your healing work on the inside. And so it's just kind of just what you got to understand. And so the guides will always say it again. So long story short, when they were talking to the mischievous energies, like, hey, we're watching you. Whatever those energies are, if they're disembodied, kind of whispering to you, messing with you, throwing you off your day, things like that, or if they're showing up in the form of people, places, things, situations, ideas, right? Because energies can manifest as well. They kind of work through, 4 minutes, 44 seconds, different people. We kind of have a saying of, if you've noticed online, they're called agent smiths. So energies will come to you by way of people in your life. So it's always important to be mindful of the company that you keep and the mood that they're in, all sorts of stuff. Anyway, they're saying let's move on, and so we shall. Let's take a look. Voice. You're here to be known, so speak and be seen. Aries, we get it, Aries. We know. As I'm saying this, it's like the voice is trying to get out, but it can't because what? Blockage. Let's take a look at what's going on here. So Aries, we know that you're here to speak and shine, and we all have our Aries friends who are very, insert any energy word you want, bossy, there's so many things, dominant, a bit aggro, depending on what's going on in their field. Also defending is what I'm getting. You guys are really great at defending others as well, and defending yourself, of course, but yours is always going to be, and for all of us too who have Aries placements in our field, we may experience that in certain areas of our life, of course, but remember, it's going to depend on how strong the Aries force is within you, and or how weak it is, whatever. But one of the things that the guides are asking you to remember, though, is this energy of the Aries energy, this dominance, this leadership, this fire, this, for some people, aggression. It can be harsh, it could be burning, it could be, and so if you find yourself in that mode where like, I'm just gonna say what I want, I'm gonna be what I want, I'm gonna show up, and that is okay. We get it, we hear you, whoever you are. You don't have to be Aries of the Aries persuasion, but that's your not final form. That's not your final form. Okay, your final form is going to be one that is balanced with your opposite, Libra. Too much Libra is not good, and I say that having like multiple placements in the sign of Libra and a retrograding Aries placement in a Mars placement in my field. So I understand, but for me this lifetime, I'm exploring different expressions of power and strength, right? And for many people, lucky them, they get the soft treatment and the this and that. And for me, I have to balance it out with more of the Aries, being upfront, being more decisive, letting people know what the boundaries are. And my team and I were working on that. God bless, God bless. But Aries, if you're in this ultra dominant way other side, your job is to bring it more to the center as well. Understanding that just because you have a message to give doesn't mean that you just give it. You have to understand that it is a truth that your message can be lost in the delivery. And I don't care who you are, what you think you are, who blah, 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 what sign, blah, 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 what your education is. The fact remains that you're dealing with energies in other people. You're dealing with someone's daughter. You're dealing with someone's son. You're dealing with someone's wife, someone's mother, someone's father. You're dealing with someone who has trauma. If you're not trauma informed and you're not in that space of empathy and understanding, your method of connection has got to change. Because guess what? You will lose your audience. You'll pick up some karma, all sorts of stuff. So if you, and the guides have been talking this month a lot about dropping the drama, about getting into the heart space, about becoming more gentle in speech and manner in general, and most recently they've been really, really talking to us about activism, speaking out, inserting yourself, asserting yourself, all sorts of stuff in order to do what? Help others. But the thing is that when people are not in alignment with the heart, when they're not to a certain place in their own healing, what they're actually doing is they may think that they're shouting and showing up at alleys. I meant to say rallies, but alleys? Is that for somebody? That's for somebody. You guys usually DM me when you're like, oh my God, that was for me. And please do. That's very helpful, because then I can know, like, oh my God. But it's no longer enough, as the guides have been saying, to just show up and do. That's not where we're going as a people. If as a people we are looking to evolve, you're looking to understand the multidimensionality of the world that you're actually already living. It's your mindset that needs to expand so that you can perceive of more. And Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. Aries is kind of like, one of the biggest things people talk about when you're an Aries in your lower expression is how single-mindedness. There's a single-mindedness. I was going to say single-minded you can appear to others and actually be, many people can say you could be arrogant, you're not thinking about other people's, you're lacking in empathy, all sorts of stuff. And we all understand that when we get pushed to that point, that happens, and what happens, people get hurt. And sometimes we're just emblazoned and excited about doing something to be of service, to help and whatnot. But what happens is you get into that range and now you're doing that, right? So this is not about saying don't do a certain activity. This is about saying check yourself. Look at the energy with which you are doing any activity, whether it's championing, whether it's being in a fist fight, whether it's getting someone in a headlock, whether it's competing with someone, whether it's writing a letter. This is not saying you can't be strong, you can't be righteous, you can't move with anger, you can't. This is about saying clean up the vibration, understand that there's a difference. And if you're trying to speak to the energies of change, high vibrational change, you cannot come with low vibrational energy. That's like understanding the difference between ruling with fear versus ruling with respect. Two different things. And if you want to look at it at a smaller scale to better understand that concept, think about the family household. When you have a dominant parent figure, when they're not in their house, when they're not in their heart space, now they're just a bully. They could cite logic, they can cite their emotional reasons, they can cite the efficiency of whatever, but what they're doing is they're traumatizing children. They're traumatizing the space. They're creating blockages in the field. People are walking on eggshells now, all sorts of stuff. As opposed to a family, a parent who is moving with the heart. They're making mistakes left and right also, but their mistakes carry a different frequency and show up differently in the Akashic records when it comes time to look at what? To look at the energetic output that your choices or their choices have led to, right? So this is a PSA for everybody. It's not enough anymore to just show up. It's not enough to throw weight around. It's not enough to throw money at things. It's not enough to throw money at things. It's not enough to put your name on things and have it on a building. It's not enough to wear a sharp suit and walk in and get the job. And it's not enough to show up looking a certain way. Spirit moves in beautiful ways. And when you start to get out of the beauty of things, again, not about the action, because you can have compassionate killing. You can have compassionate robbery. You can have compassionate in anything. Because remember, Spirit's not in there about right and wrong. Spirit's looking at the energy. And at the end of the day, it's kind of like, hey, are you using your energy to open doors for others and to assist, not only in the physical, but in the energetic? Are you leaving an impression on them that will bless them? Because guess what? When we all pass away, including these people that we're helping and all of that, and people, our employees, if you have people who work for you and all that, they're leaving behind a job, they're leaving behind the money, they're leaving behind the house, they're leaving behind all this stuff, that the shoes and stuff you donated. But what they're taking with them is the energetic impression you have made. And yes, I hear some of you like, well, what about them? Isn't there an onus on them to really not internalize what I'm saying? They have to think for themselves. They have to. Yes, they do. But you also have to understand that you're responsible for your energetic output. You're also responsible for the way that you process the energy that's coming in. You're making meaning about what happens to you. And I'm not going to go into that too much here because they covered over an hour of it in the last reading we did, the Moon in Scorpio reading. Go check it out. And if you struggle to sit through the whole thing, go ahead, listen for a little bit, go away, come back, it's just like anything else. But they talked fully about that. So at the end of the day, the question is always going to rest in your heart. And that question is, what influence would I like to contribute to this world? And yes, we're going to keep making mistakes. We're going to fall off the bandwagon. We're going to do all sorts of stuff. And that's fine, because Spirit, again, is looking at the heart. And they're understanding, they're weighing certain factors. But you have to understand also that from your level of awareness, you may not register choice in the way that Spirit registers it. You even listening to this, if this is even a new concept for you that you're hearing about agency and understanding your responsibility. Responsibility for what? Your energy. This is what human beings are learning on this planet, how to use their energy responsibly. Well, why is that important? Because you're a sovereign being. You're very, very, very powerful. You're so powerful that you've dreamt up a whole life that is here in the physical realm, in a whole different dimension from where you're really from. And so you have to understand that if you are capable of doing that, and if Spirit is seeing your sovereignty, it's like seeing Neo as the one. Neo was sitting there, selling, hacking and selling things and working a mundane job. But he was still making choices. And then even when he was told that he was the one and he was sovereign and this and that, he wasn't even believing it. And then, the oracle told him he wasn't the one because he needed to hear that. What do you need to hear to wake up? Is what Spirit is saying. What's the voice? But either way, along the path, you're hearing this, you're watching this, and you've been told, please mind your energy. Make sure you're clearing your energetic field so that you're not tainting the actions that you're doing, right? The way that you're showing up in the world, because you do have to be responsible on some level. And look at this, the Archangel Raphael giving. This is exactly what it is. What you give is going to carry your energetic signature. The question I want to leave you with is, what energetic signature would you like to choose? Look at you choosing. And Spirit is going to show you, oh my God, look, views of the ego. What is the second card? Setting your course. Yup. This is what I was going to say. Spirit is going to show you in the next few weeks the different parts of your energy field that are active. You may see it in other people though. So stay keen and open to seeing things, because they're going to show it to you and they're pretty much going to ask you, hey, you want to clean this up or you want to continue on? And if you want to clean it up, they will assist you in that and whatever that looks like. But it's time to be more awake, more aware. If your interest is in awakening yourself and moving to the next level, taking stronger command of your God-given abilities, then this is just the path you have to go through. It's the path of understanding that you're not just going to be given a loaded gun. That is your ability and your power. They're going to see how well you can use it. And if you can't even get a text and not blow off the handle, why would they give you all these abilities to affect others in ways that we would deem as miraculous, right? This is where the spiritual metal starts to come in. It's just trying to understand, is this something you want? And if it is are you willing to do the work for it? And if you are you willing to take on the responsibility of what it means to move in the space in alignment with your divineness, your sovereignty? All right. Also, part of becoming sovereign, you're already sovereign, but stepping into your sovereignty means becoming aware of how you've been programmed and how you continue to be programmed, and then allowing for the intellectual flexibility, the ideological flexibility, the emotional flexibility to disconnect from things that are not in alignment with love. But we have to understand what love is. We've got to go a little bit deeper. And it is an inside job. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this reading here because the camera cut off and I don't remember how much time we had there, but I don't want to run over 15 minutes. But if you'd like to work personally with me and kind of work on your energy field, you know exactly where to find me. You do not need me in order to get in touch with yourself, but I am here to assist as needed. And when I say I mean my spirit team and me. All right? God bless you. And have a wonderful day. Bye.